I 승수.
My name is Grace. Our topic is how to choose a house.
You may have to hold it. It's not very strong, so you have to.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to this presentation. My name is Faith and he is Seung-soo. The topic today is how to choose a good house. The sequence goes like this. Step 1. What is a good house? I'll explain the meaning of a good house. A good house is a house with combination of artistry, harmony, and function. Everyone wants to live a good house, right? Then follow me. Step 2. How to choose a good house. First, the bigger the box size, the better. The box size is housing complex, so the greater the extent of the housing, the better it is. Choose choose this house when you want a good house. Second, a good-looking apartment is worth a lot of money. Not only is it beautiful, it's better, but it's better if managed in apartment. Buy this house when you want a good house.
Next speaker is me. I introduce about good points of large space of parking area and apartments with expressed green space. First is apartments with large space of parking area for each household are handy. There are 1.1 cars owned by each household in Daegu. This means there are many shortages of parking area. So apartments with large space of parking area for each household are handy. Second is housing prices are high in apartment buildings with sufficient green space. If housing complex have many trees, trees can be a noise barrier, and apartments with many sophisticated green spaces, the scenery is very good. And now I give you two pieces. First is what is the meaning of a good house? Second is how to choose a good house. Tell me two things.
Anyone?
A good house is a house with a combination of artistry and function and harmony.
Second answer is large parking area and sufficient green space.
Thank you for this.
Good, good. We got Jay and Chambu. Just be careful. It's not very strong. So. Ooh, doghouse. Nice. You may have to hold it. You may have to kind of hold it a little bit.
Hello, I am Jay of Library and Information Science in KNU, and he's my partner, Chong.
Hi, I'm Jong-woo of Architecture Engineering. Today we will talk about how to make a doghouse.
This is our outline. We will lead to parts of them, and we will introduce preparation for making doghouse, making process, precaution in making doghouse, and summary. And we will do quiz final. Now it's time to talk about preparation for making doghouse. First, we need wood board at least 6. Plywood or panel can be used, and you can use wood board more than 6 to make your doghouse awesome. And next, saw to cut board. There is 2 kinds of saw, normal saw and power saw. Power saw can make your job easy and cut boards more clearly, but it is more dangerous than normal saw. So when you choose kinds of saw, you should consider it seriously. And you also need something to fix board, like nail. Each materials have stubborn nail. If you use long nail, then it will get bad durability. I don't think you want your doghouse is broken down in a few months. And if you have nail, then you should have hammer. Of course, you can use other tools to drive nail or piece, like nail gun. And finally, paper and ruler, pencil, and protractor for drawing blueprint. Blueprint is beginning of building. Next part is making process. First, you should draw blueprint. Blueprint is important, but you should also know that blueprint can be changed. You can think while you make doghouse, it's not cool or it's not convenient to my dog at all, so my blueprint was wrong. So you should do not obsess your doghouse. You should do not obsess on blueprint too much. Your open mind will make great doghouse. And next, cutboard. Be careful in using saw. And if you have very hard design to use saw, then you can get help to other people or change your blueprint. And third, assemble doghouse. You can do various ways to assemble doghouse to make your doghouse strong. For example, you can assemble them without nail, like some Asian architecture. And finally, you should waterproof them. If you use wood board that is not waterproofing things, then your doghouse can be rotten. So after assembling, you should use silicone or do coring or cover them without other waterproofing plywood.
Next part is precaution. You need something which to know when you make a doghouse. This is equation to know the proper size of the doghouse. First, you should consider your dog's characteristic. Can your dog enjoy the heat of summer, or does your dog hate living in narrow size? Second, the place of doghouse. You should consider the place of doghouse. If the doghouse is soft, it is hard to clean and your dog can get bad feeling of a house. Third, your doghouse should be warm even in winter. Your dog have warm fur, but winter can be more cold than your dog's resistance of cold. It would be good to put some clothes if you live where the temperature can be cold until -20. Also, if you want to tie your dog, you should build fence too. Releasing dog is very dangerous. Now I'll summarize our presentation. For making doghouse, you need to prepare some materials and assemble them. You should draw blueprint for each work, and you also have some cautions. First, for making doghouse, you need first you should consider your dog's characteristics. For example, temperature your dog can endure, or your dog's character. Second, the place of doghouse should be safe, even when it's rain. Third, your health is important than doghouse. Be careful when you make doghouse. Now it's quiz time. What can you use to make doghouse without woodboard? It's panel and plywood. Second, what is the final step to make doghouse? It's waterproofing. Which place is best to build a doghouse? The crater is a great place to swamp. Thank you for listening.
Good. All right, Sally and Seiji. Sally and Seiji. Good. Good, you guys. Nice.
Hello everyone, my name is Sally.
My name is Stacy.
Our major is architectural engineering. Now we are going to introduce how to make building. First, we will explain processes of making a building. There are 5 steps to make a building. Then we will tell you summary and conclusion. Last one is peace. Please listen carefully.
First step is siting. Siting is an important basic part of construction. So see if there is a subway station or bus station near the ground. Recently, convenience of building is becomes very important. So if there is a bus station or subway station, it is good to the building's accessibilities. Second, set the direction of building. Traditionally, Koreans prefer the buildings facing the south because because we can get bored the light of sun and Koreans attach importance to it, and we can make the building cooler when work. We can make building cooler in summer and warmer in winter.
Chapter is design drawing. Arrange the architecture plan and construct a structure realistically through drawings. There are five steps in design drawing. First one is pre-design. Write the floor plan. To lay out the information for design and correct data about architecture. Second one is schematic design. Make drawings based on concepts in pre-design. Third one is drawing development. Process structure design and facility plan. Next is working drawing. Write all architecture factors in our plan to construct the building exactly. Last one is construction supervision. Judge processes and problems in our plan.
Step 3 is permission. If you want to make a building, before the construction started, we have to submit an application for permission and get permission to make a building. So we have to write down locations, purpose, area, and structure and shape of the building when it's and submit to associated agencies. If we get permission, we can start construction.
Step 4 is construction. Realize building by making full use of materials based on the ways expressed in floor plan. Prepare construction and do contemporary construction work. And next, do earthwork which is related to land. Next, do foundation work, concrete work, and waterproofing work. Then cover the roof and do finishing work. Then building is completed.
Step 5 is completion and usage. When the construction is completed, we can use a building by many ways. First, lease a building to other people and earn money. Second, move into directly and live in there. Third, sell a building when its price is high and generate profit. And there is many other ways to use a building efficiently.
Here tell about sunlight. Step 1, lighting is to find ground which is usable. Step 2, design drawing is shaping the building in floor plan. Third, permission is to get permission from agencies. Step 4, construction is making a building directly. Step 1 is completion and business. After this step, building gets its meaning.
And we make 2 quizzes for you. If you concentrate our presentation, you can correct this quiz easily. First, what is the first step in design drawing? Number 1, pre-design. Number 2, working drawing. Third, construction supervision.
Number 1.
Second, to get permission to make a building. you have to write down location, structure, area proposed, and of the building. Of course, that's
Don't ask these guys. I'm not the only one doing it. Let's go.
the answer is shape. You have to write down the shape of the building. Policy.
Thank you guys. Good. How much do you think like a modern big skyscraper costs nowadays? $1 billion, 10 billion, 20 billion? Any ideas? I'm just curious. What do you think? It's gotta be expensive, right? Big modern building, that's not cheap anymore. Okay, good. I think we have, yeah, right, Unso, I believe Unso, I gave, ooh.
Hello, my name is Kim Eun-sol.
Hello, my name is Kim Ye-eun.
Our topic is how to receive national pension.
This is our line. We will announce the step 2 national pension in step 3, and we will announce summary and finally key.
Step 1 is to join a national pension. Let me explain what the national pension is. The national pension is a social security system enforced in the country and is a public pension system that is administered to all citizens aged 18 to 60. As a result, if there is any income, join is legally compulsory. In other words, if when you earn your income, you pay a little bit of insurance premium, and then in case of loss of income due to age, sudden death or disability caused by sudden accident or illness, it is a system of income guarantees that the government directly manages to maintain basic life by providing funds to the person or family. Step 2 is pay insurance fee for a period. Let's account for the premium and the payment period. The rate of insurance premium was lowered early in the implementation of the system, considering the burden, but it is allowed to increase upward. That is, from 1988 to 1992, it was comprised of 3% of income tax, 6% from 1993 to 1997, and 9% from 1998. In addition, in the case of business establishment subscriber, the owner and the user will share the burden equally. In contrast, local and optional subscriber will pay premium in full. So the amount of national pension payments varies according to income. Also, subscribers must pay premium monthly from next month when they are qualified for the registration to the day when they are disqualified.
The final step is to receive national pension. Let me introduce the receipt of national pension in 3 categories. First, the receipt age of national pension. The receipt age of national pension is now 65 years old. In the past, the receipt age of national pension is 60 years old. Because of the prolonged average lifespan, so 5 years was postponed. The receipt age of national pension depends on the year of birth and the year of registration. Second is the receipt amount of national pension. The receipt amount of national pension is approximately 40% of the final income. Additionally, the national pension is paid until people die. Third is the receipt condition of national pension. People must pay their insurance fee for at least 10 years. After that, people can receive their national pension. Next is summary. The list of national pension can be divided three stages. First, application of national pension service. People aged 18 to 60 who live in Korea can apply for national pension service. Second is paying insurance fee. People must pay their insurance fee for at least 10 years. Third is receiving national pension. After paying their insurance fee for at least 10 years, people can receive their national pension. Additionally, this national pension system can serve as a means of effectively dealing with the welfare of the elderly and effectively coping with the danger of sudden disaster.
Is digital. First is the subscription age of the national pension is 20 years.
False.
Correct.
Yes.
Second is the amount of national pension payments varies according to income.
True.
Correct.
Oh.
Regardless of the year of birth, people receive all their pension at the same age.
Ooh, that's a tricky answer. Anyone? I'm gonna say false.
Correct.
Oh. I have a question, two questions. Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Two questions, wait, I have two questions where you're like, two questions. In your opinion, which one do you think is better? The national pension or the private pension? Don't go, I have a question for you too. So in Korea, they have the national pension, but like your Korean professors, they're on the government workers' pension, which is a private pension. So in your opinion, meaning there's no wrong answer here, which one do you think is better, the public or the private, right? Another example is there's the Korea's Teachers Pension Fund, which is another private retirement fund. Which one do you guys think, the private or the public?
Public.
Is better? Okay. And when you guys are 60 or 65 years old, do you think there'll be money there for you? Waiting for you? You do? Really?
Yes,
You think so? You don't think your pension will be broke? There'll be no money in the pension plan? You know how the pension plan works? Workers pay money, and then the old people take out money, okay? And the problem that Korea has, the United States has the same problem. There are more old people and less young people. What that means is all the old people are taking money, and there are no young workers paying money. The United States is very similar to Korea, the system. And the system in the United States is going broke. It's literally going broke. That's why I asked, when you guys are 60, there may be no money, because it's the same in Korea. There are way more old people than there are young people. You need the young workers to pay into the money. But very interesting, very interesting. Good. Yay! And then last but not least, Mary and Christina.
Hello, our name is Krista and Mary. The theme we announced today is how to do classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is to use the natural and physiological relationship between stimuli and responses to learn the same response to different stimuli unrelated to each other. Classical conditioning is better known as Pavlov's dog because Pavlov demonstrated classical conditioning through experiments with dogs. We will introduce how Pavlov's experimented. Let me give you an outline. Our presentation is in a sequence of process, summary, Q&A, and conclusion. Let me introduce first process. First process is the situation before conditioning. In this situation, if you give the dog food, the dog secretes saliva. At this point, food is a conditional stimulus which produces an unconditional response to the dog saliva. Therefore, food that is unconditionally stimulated in psychological terms is UCS, and the unconditional response is UCR. Let me introduce second process. Second process is to give the dog a bell. The dog will not react. The dog will not react to hearing the bell. Therefore, the bell is a neutral stimulus that does not cause any response. So this is called NS in psychological terms.
Now I will explain process 3 and 4. Process 3 is during conditioning step. In this process, give the dog bell and food together. And the dog will slobber over his food, despite the bell is neutral stimulation. During this process, the classical conditioning is formed. Originally, the bell didn't stimulate the dog, but when the dog is given the neutral stimulation, which is bell, and unconditional stimulation, which is food together, the unconditional stimulation turn to neutral stimulation. In process 4, which is after conditioning, give the dog a bell alone again. In this process, you can see that the dog is slobbering despite although there is no food. Because of process 3, the neutral stimulation, which is bell, turned to conditional stimulation. And this is the process of classical conditioning, which is explained by Pavlov. And then I will summarize the process of classical conditioning. First, give the dog food. In this process, the food is unconditional stimulation. And second, give the dog a bell. A bell is neutral stimulation. And then give the dog food and bell together. Finally, give the dog a bell. A bell is conditional stimulation. Now, the question time. And there are 2 questions to check our presentation. Question 1 is, what is the role of the bell before conditioning? NS is neutral stimulation and CS is conditional stimulation.
CS, neutral, neutral.
Yeah.
CSNS.
The answer is NS. And then question 2, who conducted this experiment?
Well, the dog's name is Pablo, Pablo's dog, so I imagine it must be a guy named Pablo.
Oh yeah, that's correct. And Pavlov conducted this experiment. Thank you for this.
I have a question for you guys, okay? So imagine this. Here you are, you're sitting at a restaurant, and all this fried chicken comes out, right? And you're like, oh, fried chicken! We have to get beer! Is fried chicken considered a conditional simulation? Because you automatically have to get beer when you have fried chicken?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe.
So people can be conditioned too? Do you think people can be conditioned? Like chicken and beer? Oh, we have chicken, we have that beer.
I think so.
You think so? Okay, good. Yeah.